Hi. I didn't put my light on, so it's going to be super bright and then we'll turn down. Now there's light. Okay, great. I wanted to jump on here to let you know that the program is going to change. This will be the final episode in the ClairEssence Alchemy. All right. And you can always refer back. I have a library built on YouTube, and it's great. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to reach out to me directly at my telephone number, 714-220-8351, if you have any questions. And then we could determine if it's a session or not. You'll figure it out. All right. So I'm moving into a a different way of presenting the same information. So we're just going to let the channel come in. All right. Mostly what it is that as it comes in, I get directed. And as I'm directed, I impart the wisdom that comes through. And I call it wisdom because it's stuff that I don't know, and it makes me wiser for having to listen to it and understand it and bring in a little bit more of that balance to my life. So for all intents and purposes, energy is what you're experiencing almost 100% of the time. All right. And it can have a tangible aspect to it. You're going to decide whether or not it looks a certain way or not, how you're going to feel about it, how open you are to receiving from that experience or that opportunity, whether or not you think there's limitations. It really doesn't matter. The idea is to understand that you're enough in the situation. It's okay. Everything's okay. And so you have to soothe yourself. You have to figure out a way to soothe yourself in the situation. If the situation is really overwhelming, then you're in too much information. That's what you need to realize. You can step back, all right, and you can give yourself a little bit of time, space, a break, however you want to look at it. And that means that you're not looking at yourself as the wrongdoer in your experience, your place, right? You're looking at yourself as, oh, hey, I'm observing my actions, I'm observing my experience. What would I like to happen next, or what would I like to happen better? All right. So for clairessence is the practice of all of your energetic crafts. Okay. And we craft our understandings. We create them. We create them from when we are very young until now. And we're still absorbing the world around us through experience. We're still absorbing the world around us through experience. And we take on those experiences, and then we emit those experiences. We're not trying to do anything wrong. We are merely replicating what we've experienced because it was a good experience or it was called for in that circumstance. So we're replicating it. The idea is to create new patterns. How do you do that? Contrary action. What's contrary action? Contrary action is where when you have a pattern that you see repeated, like at 2 o'clock in the morning, you're waking up and you're going to the refrigerator and you go to open the refrigerator and you're like, no, dude, like, don't do it. Just shut the door, get some water, drink water. And then you start changing your habit from opening the refrigerator at 2 in the morning to drinking water at 2 in the morning. Okay. And that'll change to the bathroom at 2 in the morning. But, okay. You have to do things to bring about what it is that you would like to experience. Nobody is like off the hook for any of it. And we're creating vehicles to be able to have our experience. Okay. We're creating vehicles to have our experience. Most of us are seeking spirituality in a variety of ways. And because we're seeking spirituality means connection to who you are energetically. Okay. Connection to who you are in the invisible shit, to your non-physical self, to your belief system, to your emotion system. Okay. That's what that is. Everything that you don't see about you, that's spirituality for you. That's the easiest way to say it. Beliefs are created through experience and teachings. All right. And what teachings are you experiencing for yourself? Like, what are you bringing in for yourself that's telling you that you're a better person, that tells you that you can do this, that tells you that you got this, that everything's okay, you're enough, everything's wonderful, you're perfect? Those are the teachings that you want to bring in for yourself, right? You need to speak to yourself that way. Wow, I made this decision and this is what happened. Imagine that. Okay. All right. Okay. 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 Now I'm in another situation. I'm in another situation. I'm just going to bring all that energy into right now. Okay. Because if I leave some of it in the past, I'm going to have to go back and process that shit. None of us like shadow work. None of us like shadow work. So if I just sit in the moment and I tremble it out or I go, okay, and I can let the charge of it lessen, I still keep the experience. I still keep the wisdom of the experience, the knowing, right? That's energetic. But I can let go of the experience in my physical field so that way I don't have to hold on to it and process it later. Okay? Just give it a second, right? There's this thing that Manuel used to do. It was called a 90-second golf shot, right? And when you hook or when you hit the ball and it doesn't go in the direction that you would like, it is going in the direction that you aimed. Whether you believe it or not makes no difference whatsoever. It's actually going in the direction that you aimed. So it depends on how you face the club. All right. Now, if you swing and it goes in a direction that you really hate, and you're really angry, okay, because like you have a lot riding on that, getting into that, like, getting onto the green, okay? And so like here you are, you're all upset and everything like that, but it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. You're just creating an energy of dissatisfaction because you didn't have the outcome that you thought that you were going to have from the way that you were having the action. So just looking at the action, adjust and you'll have what you want. And that's what it always is. Adjust and you'll have what you want. It just means this is the result for where you're aiming in the work that you're doing. This is the result. Okay? This is the result for what you're doing right now. It doesn't make it wrong. It means this is the result. So go into acceptance, right? Go into acceptance and say, oh, so if I do it that way, I get the pink one. Damn. Okay. Well, if I do this and I get the pink one, what can I do to get like the orange one? I want the orange one. Start doing shit to get the orange one then. Quit lamenting over the pink one. You have the pink one, work with the pink one until you get the orange one. Understand that it's a moment. It's a moment, matter of time. You're going to have every experience you've asked for. You're going to have that. You're going to have it in a representational way. If you can recognize that you're having the experience that you asked for, you can have more expanded, linked experiences that will be the same. So by that, I mean how you feel when you're manifesting something, how you're thinking, how you're feeling. Because then when they come together, your whole body's online and you're creating your own charge, your own magnified field for things to come to. Okay, this is like where the bucket is for spirit or universe or the non-physical to deliver what it is that you want, right? It isn't because it doesn't come without effort, because you have to get the bucket. So now you're going to have to create a vehicle for you to have the experience that you want to have. And that should tell you right there. That should tell you that you are the creator. You are the actionable partner in this endeavor. Okay. And it'd be easier if it was inspired action, sitting still, allowing yourself to understand that there is this pattern that has to line up and click into place before everything opens and feels okay to move forward. All right. There's a pattern happening in the universe energetically from what you've generated through your intention, because you've captured energy and asked it to display and direct and move and behave in a certain way. If you're, I would really like blah, blah, blah. I don't know if I could have that. I don't really want to work that hard. You can already see that I'm creating wobbles in what I've asked for. So that's why it's easier to create the wobbles before you do the ask. So you start saying things to yourself like, before you send it, right? Before you send it. You say things like, okay, so what is it I'm really wanting out of this experience? You know, I have bills every month. What would be something I would like to experience? I would like for maybe 4 or 5 days before all my bills are due to have more than enough money to pay them just like this and not worry. That's what I would like. 4 or 5 days, plenty of money to pay the bills that are coming due. So I don't have to focus on what I don't have, right? And that would bring me ease. That would let me feel comfortable. That would create relatability to me, to my situation. That means eventually it's going to get there anyway. And so I can believe that it's eventually going to be there. It keeps showing up anyway, whether it's late or on time, it does show up. It keeps showing up. And if I let it show up and I say, okay, great. Now I just, I'd like to tweak it and bring it to here. I already know it's going to be there. See, I have a knowing it's going to be there. When I'm slowing it down, telling it how it's got to behave because it's money and it needs to pay something, it has to be a certain way. The structure limits its movement. Okay? The structure limits its movement. So what I want to do is I want to kind of open it up into a feeling, right? If I open it up into a feeling, I can connect to that feeling easier. You know how you feel when you finally, like the 29th of the month, you've paid all the bills? Oh God, that's just too close to the fucking truth. Okay, I just had to enjoy that. I had to enjoy that humor, that deliciousness, that, oh yeah, I know how that feels. I know exactly how that feels, right? When it's like, woohoo! And then 2 days later, it starts again. I love it. Okay. So the idea is to understand that it's going to start again. We have these agreements that we have got ourselves into. And in these agreements, we know that we're going to pay. We know we're going to follow through. So it's an eventuality. So that means that we already know the money is coming. What? What did you say? We already know the money's coming. Are you sure? Yeah, fuck yeah. You made an agreement to pay the bills, so you already know the money's coming. Let it. Let it. It may not look like it did when you first made the agreement, and that's okay, because things are changing outside as well as inside, and you have to start focusing on what you can trust, and it's you. You are what you can trust. You know yourself better than anyone. You know your experience, you know your circumstance, you know what situation you're in. Nobody has more information of you than you. Let you be the authority. Let you be in charge and responsible and accountable in the way that you would like, in the way that's comfortable, that brings you ease, right? So when you're manifesting something, manifest it into a feeling that you would like to experience. So on that 29th day, right, when everything's all paid and you feel like, oh, fuck yeah, that's what you're trying to manifest. That's what you're really trying to manifest. You're trying to manifest a place where you can pull your energy back from all the invitations that you have out there. We get mail, we get bills, we get all kinds of stuff, right? That's just one form. We get emails. Oh, lots of emails. We get text messages, calls. We scroll, we get messages in social media, depending on how many platforms we're on. Can you imagine? And then if we're lucky, we get to interact physically with an individual. But that's a lot. That is a lot. So manage how you want to feel, and you'll have more of those situations show up, right? You're manifesting, pulling your energy back. That's what it is. You have your energy in all of that, in every little bit. Do, 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 do. All of the partnerships, everything. When you come to a conclusion that you've created, a finite position, you feel comfortable enough to let go of the energy you're focused on, and then your energy comes back to you, and you're like, wow, that was so easy. Start there. Start there. Start there. Practice like maybe 2 to 3 minutes every day, the feeling that you want to feel at the end of what you're asking for. All right? Put yourself into that vibration and practice it, because then things show up in that vibration to support you. It will give you tangible items for you to build something. It will connect you to people who are going to provide the ask that you have. It's going to do that for you. All right? Your job is to just get in alignment for it. If you're in alignment to receive and you're not asking, because we ask a lot, okay? And if we're not saying help, 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 we can say things like thank you, thank you, thank you, or I love you, I love you, I love you. And those allow us to receive the energy to us. All right? And we're not in resistance in a projection of what about this? What about this? What about this? Okay? And what we're doing is we're drawing our energy back in awareness and in understanding that we can command how we feel in a circumstance and set a vibrational intention. And that vibrational intention will allow us for things to come and match and provide experience for us in the ask that we have. The ask is ease. The ask is love. The ask is gratitude, appreciation, joy, because it's a sensory emotion that you are looking for in the result. You want to feel a certain way. Look for the feeling first. We have DNA strands that allow us to self-regulate our emotional body. And when you can tap in to something like that with intention, you can create the vibe that you would like to experience more of the time. All right? And the vehicles that show up, like the money to pay the bills, the jobs to give you the money, the people to connect with so that you can find XYZ. All right? It's because of your vibe. Okay? It's what you're expecting in the moment for you. If you are in a schleprock space, I don't know if you ever watched the Flintstones, but schleprock was the dude who always showed up and he had like a little thunderstorm cloud around his head. Okay? Always. Okay? Or Pigpen of the Peanuts, right? How there's always that debris, right? The Tasmanian devil. And if you'll notice, it isn't until any of them are still that all the chaos settles. Okay? That's valuable to understand. Valuable, right? Chaos is okay. We don't have to participate in it. It's always going to be there because somebody's not going to understand something. That creates chaos. Who cares? You don't have to understand everything. Find out if it's important to you. If it's important to you and emotionally it'll support you in what it is that you are focused in, then by all means incorporate it into your everyday or whatever's happening. Okay? But if it isn't, let it fucking go by. Who cares? If we focus on those things, what we're doing is we're using a coping skill of distraction. And when we use distraction, we feel as though we haven't fulfilled who we are for the day. And we start to fall into words and phrases like I'm gonna, and that starts procrastination trains and loops in our head. We begin to feel like we have attention deficit disorder because we can't sort anything in our minds, but that's because we have brought most information to us with no action. It's not a sedentary life, it's a sentient life. The sentient life has mobility. It has mobility, it goes and sees and does, and it has the experience, and then it tells itself what the experience was, and it feels into itself in the experience, and it shows its body what the experience was. And it comes together and it culminates this beautiful story that the body now lives. The body lives according to that new information. And if it was joy that you gave to the body in that new experience, that's what you will be living. You will be living joy in the next rendition, in that one and in the next, because that's what you are magnetized for. Okay? How do you choose these things? How? Well, you know what? Sit and find something really fucking funny on TV if that's what it takes, so that way you can get into the humor of life. Look at the irony. Look at the irony of everything. Look at the irony of everything, and look at the absurdity of everything, and just have a good laugh. A good laugh, a good belly laugh over just stuff. Right? It's crumbling right before our eyes. Everything is crumbling right before our eyes. And we need to just witness it. That's all we can do. That's the best that we could do, is witness what is happening right now. All right? And figure out what's going to be best for us in the future. And that's what I'm encouraging. So my talks are going to move from tonight to mornings. And it'll be coffee time. All right. And I just look forward to that. I think I'm going to do more. I'm not sure how many, but I'll put them up later on tonight, and you'll see like the new listings and everything. On Sundays, I'm starting to do more outside work, so I have to move the shows. So on the morning one, we moved it to 5:00 on Monday night, and then the ClairEssence. I'm going to stop with this particular subject. It'll be similar because it's all about energy. It's all about how you carry your energy, how you carry you in the world, how you are respectful to you and others, how you're able to allow the energy of you to be individual and unique, as well as supportive and in communion with others, different things like that. And I think that if I do like little meditations in the morning, and I do some maybe uplifting talks about like mantras, things that we could think of throughout the course of the day, that might better support the direction and flow for people, because that's what we need. We need to know that we're really connected. We are so connected to one another, and we're all feeling this. We're all feeling everything, and it's all right. We're not accustomed to allowing ourselves to feel. We come from a place in the colonized world where feelings and emotions didn't really, they weren't welcomed. All right. And allowing ourselves to have these feelings and emotions is swimming in waters that we are unaccustomed to, and giving ourselves permission. That's like part of it. And allowing ourselves to navigate those waters and hold ourselves sacred, and know that it's necessary for us to be ourselves, right? For us to just show up who we are. Okay. That's what the empowerment is. The empowerment is all about, who do you choose to be? Who do you choose to be? All right. So channeled mornings is what we'll do. All right. I might even use the old one of notions and illuminations. I don't know. I'll think about it, but you'll see the post. And I just love you guys. And I appreciate all of the support that you've given me since I started doing these online broadcasts. It's been a journey for sure, because for me, putting myself out there is never easy. Sharing my experience and my opinion, right? and knowing that people listen to the suggestion and the advice. And I understand that I'm a human, the same as you, and I'm merely telling you how I've done it. And I would love for you to tell me how you do it, right? Tell me how you do life. What works for you? What are the great things that use you in the best way that you choose, right? And so we'll open the floor up a little bit more. Maybe we'll talk about certain subjects. I don't want to turn it into a reading show. That's not what it's going to be about. It's going to be about you and me and us and how life works. And so I really love you guys and thank you very much. And I think I'm done talking for tonight. Bye.